You're there crouching in the grass 40,000 years ago, staring at a berry. It's red, it's shiny, and it looks exactly like the one that killed your cousin last spring. There's no label, no app to scan it. There's no group chat to ask, hey, is this poisonous? No, it's just you, the berry, and the season that can either feed you tonight or end you. Here's the thing nobody tells you about being alive right now. Almost every rule keeping you from accidentally poisoning yourself was written in blood. You don't think twice about eating an almond, but somebody a very long time ago had to think about it a lot. Because the wrong almond doesn't taste bad, it just kills you. So how did we get from randomly eating things in the forest to an entire species that mostly doesn't die from lunch? Turns out it's like one of the longest and weirdest and most brutally researched projects in human history. Before humans did any of this on purpose, they were doing what every animal does. That's guessing based on smell, color and texture and just hoping for the best. Bright colors were an early warning system. Not perfect, but decent. But, plenty of the deadliest plants and fungi taste completely normal. Some are sweet, some smell great. Yeah, nature did not agree to make this one easy. Hats off on the guy who was figuring out mushrooms. So how did anyone survive long enough to build up this large body of knowledge?
How not to die
when eating a bunch of random stuff. Firstly is to just take very small nibblekey bites every time. And if you feel like you're getting really sick and you're about to die, just hold your thumbs and hope and pray that your bite you took was small enough.
Watching the animals.
Second is to watch what the animals are eating. If a bird or monkey could eat something and be fine, then it is fine for humans too. Animals became an unpaid, unwitting safety testing team, and humans were just taking notes. Oh, no, we're not there yet. I mean,
Passing it down.
And of course the big one, passing it down. Once someone figured out a plant was dangerous, usually by watching someone else get violently ill, that knowledge didn't die with them. It became a warning, a taboo, a rule parents drilled into kids before they were old enough to wander off and make their own mistakes. This was one of the earliest forms of accumulated human knowledge. Before writing, before agriculture, before basically everything we associate with civilization, humans were already building a shared survival database. One tribe's worth of trial and error deaths became every future generation's shortcut. And here's the thing, some plants were fine cooked, but dangerous raw. Some needed soaking or pounding or days of setting before the poison leached out. None of that is instinct. That's generations of people slowly, painfully mapping an insanely complicated rulebook through nothing but repetition and loss. Okay, and here's something really crazy that actually gave me a shock while I was doing research for this script. It's cassava.
The cassava plant.
A root vegetable that's still a staple food for hundreds of millions of people today. And also, casually no big deal, full of compounds that turn into cyanide if you don't handle it exactly right. If you don't know, cyanide is really deadly.
Game over.
We're not talking stomach ache territory. Eat it raw or improperly processed and you can be dead under 30 minutes. And somehow, it's one of the most widely eaten plants on earth because somewhere back in history, an entire community collectively figured out how to make cassava not deadly through what can only be described as extremely high-stake trial and error. Here's the actual process, because it's honestly quite crazy once you see how it's laid out. First you peel it, then you grate or crush it into a pulp, then soak that pulp in water for a couple of days to let the toxic compounds dissolve out. Then you squeeze out the liquid, which, fun fact, is toxic enough on its own that you can't just pour it out in a rush carelessly. If you get the fumes in, you will die. Then finally, you cook it, because the heat is what finishes breaking down whatever poison survives steps 1 through 4. Skip a step and... bye-bye. Someone had to get that process wrong first. Probably a lot of someone's. And by the time it reached your grandmother's grandmother, nobody remembered the specific deaths that taught that lesson. They just knew with total certainty and zero explanation, don't skip a step.
Flavour and Tea.
People needed flavor through many herbs and spices. And the very nice, flavorful, delicious herbs looked exactly like the toxic, dangerous, deadly ones.
You're looking at the rare white dragon bush. Its leaves makes a tea so delicious, it's heartbreaking. That, or is the white jade bush, which is poisonous. Delectable tea, or deadly poison.
Meat and cooking meat.
And now come the final chapter. Meat brought its own invisible dangers, like spoilage, parasites, and diseases jumping from animal to human. It was simple usually. Just cook your meat. Every food safety habit you have on autopilot, cook it, wash it, don't eat what smells off, is the compressed inherited results of thousands of years of somebody finding out the hard way, so you don't have to. And here's the genuinely crazy part. This entire body of knowledge existed almost completely without anyone understanding why any of it worked. Nobody knew about cyanide compounds or bacteria, they just knew the pattern. Do this and bad things happen less. It's science without the science, refined over an almost unimaginable number of repetitions, passed down as culture because culture was the only storage device available before writing existed. That's the whole system. Just a massive, invisible, multi-thousand-year group project called figuring out what doesn't kill us. Next time you eat something without thinking twice, go ahead and think about it. Somebody earned that for you. And by that I mean, just to be very clear, someone died. Just in case you didn't know. Thank you so much for watching up until the very end. This video was a lot more effort and took much longer than I initially expected. And if you liked what I made, you can really support me by liking and commenting and sharing around so that I would be able to make more of this in the future. Thanks a lot. Cheers.